Hello. How's it going, a-hole hamster? I knew you were ready for this. Are you excited? I'm excited. Turn the audio down just a tad. We're gonna play some AI Dungeon 2. This was a request by a-hole hamster to play the mad imaginations of a computer and what they believe interactive fiction, a text-based adventure game, would be based on people's inputs. It is wild, and I cannot wait to play. I dabbled just to get a feel for kind of the context of what it's looking for, so things can move a little more smoothly. Just to get the ins and outs of it just a tiny bit. I didn't get too far. I just wanted to see how things would flow nice. I knew you were going to be. Have you done a lot of this? How much time have you spent with AI Dungeon? I'm curious. Blink. Very curious. You of course get to see my wonderful desktop now, because the only way to get this going on the computer. Only a few hours. What was your experience like? We did also dabble with this at the beginning of a stream. We were waiting for Sea of Thieves to download an update, which took a long time. It was like a 6 GB download. And we dabbled. We're going to start with a fantasy setting. I think that'll be good. I have some lovely Genesis music playing in the background. Let me know if it's too loud or anything like that, because I just want to have something to go with it, because there's no music to this. So, start as a noble, a princess, a knight, a wizard, a witch, a ranger, a squire, a peasant, and a rogue. I think we're gonna start your stereotypical fantasy experience, right? We're gonna be a knight. And your character's name. Reginald Merryweather the Third. Generated a story. How well it kept up, but it did get confused at times. You are Reginald Merryweather III, a knight living in the kingdom of Larian. You have a steel longsword and a wooden shield. You're on a quest to defeat the evil dragon of Larian. You've heard he lives up at the north of the kingdom. You set on the path to defeat him and walk into a dark forest. As you enter the forest, you see a red-caped man in rags standing by the side of the path. Greet man. You say hello. The man looks at you. His eyes bulge a bit, and he makes a frightened face. Comfort the man. I'm excited. You say, you don't need to be afraid. I'm not your enemy. The man nods nervously and says, Can you help me get back home? You nod and say, sure. Ask man where his home is. You just type anything you want. You aren't limited by a particular verbiage and grammar that you have to follow, like in a C or a game and stuff. Man says, I live in a small village not too far from here. It's called Ashton. You nod, all right. Take man to Ashton. Hold on. We're going to escort man to Ashton. You can do anything, it's true. You nod and say alright. You set off to escort the man to Ashton. After a few hours of walking, you finally arrive at Ashton. The man thanks you and runs into his house. Explore Ashton. Hold on, find a tavern in Ashton. Burn down house. I'm not burning down the house yet. We're gonna keep it calm first. We're keeping it calm first. You enter a tavern in Ashton and look around. You then spot a man sitting by himself. You walk over to sit next to him. The man says, hi, I'm Jim. Now you can also hit the enter or the arrow to continue this conversation, this train of thought. So your next quest is slay the evil dragon of Larian. You say, I'm Reginald. Jim laughs and says, man, what? That's a weird name. Where are you from? Tell man that you are from Larian. Jim looks interested and says, I've always wanted to visit Larian. Are you going to be there long? You nod and say, I'm going to stay there for a few weeks. Tell man you are looking for a dragon. Dude, CDI Arcade! How's it going, man? Rob House! How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing well, man. We're doing something crazy today. The music is my own, of course. It's some Sega Genesis games, but we are playing AI Dungeon 2. It is, though if you haven't heard of this, it is a immaculate device. It's a computer AI that creates adventures, and based on your inputs, that derives what its response is, and it takes information from the internet and what other people have responded to also kind of help craft what happens in reaction to your behavior. And you can do anything. You can type out whatever you want, and the story kind of goes from there, and it gets weird. It's crazy. How did Mario 3? You were playing Mario 3 last night. How did it go? Jimnon says, yeah. You find one of those in these parts. Oh, I found a good spot if you're looking for one. Ask Jim to lead you to the good spot. Jim nods and says, sure. You begin to follow Jim as he leads you outside of Bastion. After a while, you notice a dirt track leading into the forest. You follow it for a while before you come across an old ruin. Jim points to the ruin and says, that's it. I'm going in there. Follow Jim. Tell him the airship. Well, that was about it. Oh, it's okay. You're gonna get it. You got it, dude. You nod and say, all right. You walk into the ruin. You begin to search around for any signs of a dragon. You search everywhere, but come up empty-handed. You sit down and have a think. Listen to the sounds of the ruins. We're gonna reflect for a second. You stand up and listen to the silence. You begin to concentrate and listen intently. There doesn't seem to be anything around. Suddenly, you hear a bunch of thumping coming from the top of the ruin. Hide behind a pillar. Oh, you have not beaten Mario 3 as an adult. CDI Arcade, my wife and I, we co-opted Mario 3 way back in the Wii days on the Virtual Console when that came out. We downloaded that together and we played the heck out of it. We beat it together as a team. I was, of course, Luigi, because Luigi rules. You hide behind a pillar and begin to think. The thumping continues, and you get the feeling someone or something is right above you. You look up and see a hatch in the ceiling. Climb. Open hatch and climb inside. Should just be called Skynet. Oh yeah. You walk over to the hatch and open it. You climb up through the hole and onto the floor of the ruin. You stand in the dark room, listening, and there's nothing. Oh, listening intently? There's nothing but silence. Wait for my eyes to adjust to the... Oh. Wait for your eyes to adjust to the darkness. Just watch, this is crazy. Ready? You slowly look around the room. You make out a couple of barrels and boxes, but that's about it. Suddenly you notice a couple of lanterns hanging from the ceiling. Light the lanterns. As soon as you light up the room, you see a hideous creature staring back at you. It looks like a man, but he's so deformed that he looks more like a monster. Oh no, what do I do to the hideous creature? It looks like a man. We're gonna wait and see what happens. Let's have it continue its train of thought. The monster begins to look at you and let out a horrible laugh. It lasts for what seems like an eternity before it finally stops. The monster begins to speak, but it's barely above a whisper. Ah, I can see you are the one. I can smell the stress and fear from here. It's nice to meet you, human. My name is Robert. Robert begins to laugh once again. Ask Robert where the dragon is. Great. Hideous creature. Alright, named Robert. Robert laughs and points to the ceiling. You can see the dragon right above you. You look up and see a rotting head sitting on a pole staring at you. Observe the head. What? You stare at the dragon's head and begin to wonder who might have beheaded it. It seems very fresh, but that might be because it's covered in mold. Ask Robert, who killed the dragon? Obviously, Sister North South and Dennis. Jeez, Viking, how's it going, man? Robert laughs once again. You are a very funny human. He begins to tell you about how he killed the dragon, but it's a boring story. You want to kill the guy already. Hey, don't be so presumptuous. Listen to the story intently. Robert begins to talk about how he killed the dragon. He was on a hunting expedition with his friends, including his brother. They were out in the middle of nowhere, miles and miles from any other settlement. They ran into a wyvern, and everyone got scared. His brother, however, was very brave. He shot the beast with his bow, and Robert stabbed it in the neck with his sword. Unfortunately, it happened to be the mating season, so the dragon managed to kill his brother and burn down the hunter's camp. Robert pauses for a moment, trying to remember. I also saved the girl. Ask Robert about the girl. Eat dragon head. Oh, no problem. Yes, I just got my kids to sleep too, CDI Arcade. I know how that is. Oh man, good luck. I'll be here. Robert frowns and says, I can't remember. I need to keep my mind on the hunt or else. Suddenly you hear a scream from outside. It's Agni. He's found the cave. Remember who Agni is. Who's Agni? We had an attic going up to Agni. Remember who Agni is. He's the son of the inn owner. I'm not gonna kill Robert. Recruit Robert to find Agni. I'm building a party. Robert begins to get excited. Yes, I like to find things. Robert starts to climb up the walls, hoping to find a secret passage. What? Climbing the walls. You tell him to stop, and instead you head outside to look for Agni. You walk outside and begin to search for the boy. This is why it's important to let the thing kind of get its train of thought out by just clicking on the arrow, because sometimes when you do a complex thing or an idea that is a little more complicated, it eventually gets to the thing where it doesn't sound like it understood you. Like we said, you recruit Robert to find Agni. The first message it says is Robert begins to get excited. Yes, I'd like to find things. And then that doesn't tell you anything, but you let it continue its train of thought. And it will get to what you want. Suddenly you hear a twig break behind you. You quickly turn around and draw your sword. You draw a crossbow from your bag as well. You see Agni standing there. Agni, my boy, why are you sneaking around like this, you demand? It's not like you to be out this late. I don't know who Agni is, but it's okay. I was looking for you, sir. Need to talk to you. Can't it wait? Ask Agni where the cave is. And he points to a cave in the distance. That's the cave, sir. Ask Agni if he saw the dragon. Yes, sir, he was right there. Are you alright? You ask what happened. Agni doesn't answer. Let Robert eat Agni. Yes, sir. He was just looking around. Good, you continue walking toward the cave. What? I want Robert to eat Agni. The cave goes deep, and you stop to ask Robert if he's lost. I don't know where I am, Robert screams. You're going to have to find me. Too many words. Hey, Hijabi, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. She's Viking Games does not approve of me saying, let Robert eat Agni. You hear a loud rumbling. Look up and see a large dragon flying over your head. Robert, find shelter, you shout. Fire crossbow at dragon. Wait, Search. No. Discover a weak point in the dragon's scales. You charge up your energy and fire your arrows at the dragon's neck. It isn't a perfect shot, but you manage to hit a weak point. Kid, let's go in the cave. Oh, you don't approve the AI just ignoring me? Typically what'll happen is that if you were to let it get its train of thought out, it would eventually get to that. And it remembers those inputs as well to bring the story back around to it, typically. That's from my experience, at least. The dragon roars in pain and begins to dive out of the sky. You run for cover, but it's of no use. Dragon crashes into the forest behind you, burning the trees as it goes. Chase down the dragon. And avoiding responsibility as much as possible. I feel you 100%. You rush towards the dragon's trail of flames, jumping over the burnt trees. You see the dragon feasting on a small deer it must have caught in the woods. You've gone mad! Who has gone mad? You shout, there's nothing to feast on in these woods! The dragon turns around and growls, staring at you. You don't have time to think before the dragon breathes fire on you. Block fire with shield. You raise your shield, but it isn't enough. The fire bursts through the air and you feel a searing pain in your side. Ah, you shout! Charge dragon with... Oh. Stab dragon with sword. In the eye with sword. But sometimes it works if you type the same thing over again in a different way. You jump back as the dragon roars and raises its head up high. Its neck appears to have a large wound through it, which you realize is your sword sticking into it. Murder the dragon. Hold on. Twist sword deeper into the dragon's neck. You grab the sword with both hands and begin to twist it deeper into the dragon's neck. It tries to shake you off, but you stay on top. Behead the dragon. Harvest the organs. The dragon lets out a roar, which is soon replaced by a painful scream. The sword twists deeper and deeper into the dragon's neck, and it begins to bleed, turning the snow red. The dragon drops to the ground and twitches for a few seconds, then it stops moving. You take off your armor and place it over the dragon to protect it from the wolves. Harvest the organs of the dragon. Thank you, Cheese. That's a good one. You cut off the dragon's head and begin to search through its body. Cut out its heart and take it with you. Return to the kingdom as a hero. The journey back is a quiet one. You and your men talk about what to do with the dragon's body. Eventually, it's decided to be left alone in the woods to be eaten by wolves and bears. Columns. Oh, this is the best. I love Columns music. When you arrive back in the kingdom, you return as a hero. The king and queen are thrilled to see you, and many nobles come to congratulate you. Soon you're back to the swing of things. It's a time of peace. The end.
You win. Perfect.
That was a good start. Thank you, Cheese Viking Games. Thank you, thank you. That was a good first story. That was a warm-up. Okay. That was a warm-up. Now we're gonna get weird. Okay. New single-player game. You know what? We'll do a couple single-player games, and then we might do a multiplayer game where you guys get to participate. I don't know how it works, but we're gonna try it. If you guys want to participate, you're welcome to join. They have a multiplayer function as well. Play.aidungeon.io. We may do that. You love the mystery setting? Let's do the mystery setting. Let's do a mystery setting. I am a patient. Why not? Enter your character's name. Morgan Freeman. You're Morgan Freeman, a patient living in Chicago. You have a hospital bracelet and a pack of bandages. You wake up in an old run-down hospital with no memory of how you got there. You take a look around the room and see another hospital bed, a television on with the sound muted, a VCR and a tape recorder. The bandages and medical equipment are very old looking. The TV has a button for channel 6, but no channel comes up. Unmask old man. Okay. Read the bracelet. Hospital wristband reads Western Illinois and has your room number, which is 605 on it. You notice there's a door just across the hall that you haven't entered. Get tape recorder and listen to it. The tape is labeled Best Moments. You hear yourself talking. You sound like you're at a wedding. You can't make out the words, though. Decipher the words. Throw TV at door. First line says, I was at a wedding. The second line says, this is the story of the wedding. You can't make out that word first. You can make out the word first in the third line. Repair tape recording. The tape is repaired and a new message starts. The new message is from you. The tape was made by you, and the time and date are noted down. March 21st at 3:03 p.m. Hello. You have a call from your operator. Please press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You never hear the rest of the message. What? Remember why you are in the hospital. You remember that a few weeks ago you shot your friend in the face and killed him. The memory of this makes you vomit. You quickly rush to the door and open it. A figure is standing there. Vomit on figure. Mr. Turn. You manage to keep the contents of your stomach from coming out, but you feel lightheaded. A nurse rushes into the room. Hey kid, what's going on? Puke. Projectile. Vomit on everything. Just don't get loot. I'm not gonna get loot, J-Rod. We're not doing that. Nurse helps you out. This was some sick kid. Now what, she says. You point to the figure in the doorway. I think that's what sick I was feeling. The nurse walks over and knocks on the figure. Hello there, she says. Yes, a voice replies. It's very confused right now. The AI has gone off the rails. I'm not going to hurt you, but I need you to step out in the hallway. The figure slowly steps out. You recognize him as the boy that was sitting next to you on the plane. He's about your age, but has a beard. You notice he is wearing a tuxedo. Hold on. So I have a tape recording of going to a wedding. And this is the story of the wedding. I got a call from my operator. Press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I shot my brother and my friend in the face and killed him. And I was on a plane with this figure. This is certainly mysterious. Very confusing. Open window and escape. You jump out the window. Unfortunately, forgot to take the bars off. You break your legs and die soon afterwards. The end. Check for organs. Wow, that was weird. Yeah, we'll be a detective next time. We'll be a detective next time. Let's try again. Be a detective. Bob. This is Bob's stories. This game goes so many places. I love it. You're Bob, a detective living in Chicago. You have a pistol and a police badge. You enter the forest where you believe the criminal you're searching for fled to. Suddenly, you hear a woman scream. You draw your pistol and run in the direction of the sound. You have never been a great runner. Rely on your sick as tennis shoes. Your robot legs to run faster. Robot legs don't work too well on inclines, but they're perfect for climbing trees. You jump onto a nearby tree and begin scaling the nearest one. Look. Oh, hold on. It takes some time, but you eventually get to a point where you can see the source of the screaming. There, you find a woman tied to a tree and gagged. It's your sister, Casey! Search for traps. To be safe, you slowly approach the woman tied to the tree. As you do, you search for any possible traps or ways she could have fallen here. You find a long strand of barbed wire, but no tripwires or anything similar. You untie the woman and take the gag out of her mouth. Casey? You ask, help me! Rescue Casey. Oh, bring Casey to safety. You bring your sister to safety, then begin cutting the barbed wire. As you're doing so, a gunshot rings out and a large rusted blade comes down on your foot. Create set. Hold on. There's no tripwires. What is this nonsense? Create a tourniquet. How do you spell that? That's tourniquet. For your leg, for your foot. As the blade slices through your skin, you wrap a tourniquet around your foot. You feel a slight burn as the veins in your foot collapse, but it's survivable. Search for the source. Hold on. Call for an airstrike at the source of the gunshot. The noise distracts your assailant, and before he can react, you punch him in the throat and break his jaw. You're able to drag Casey to safety just as the police arrive. Whoops. The culprit is a man with a goatee and a large backpack. He runs into the forest and you give chase. Grab the backpack. J-Ra! Dude, how's it going? Long time no see. How are you? I hope you're doing well. The man tries to punch you, but you dodge and grab his backpack. You turn it over and find a note reading, Punk, written on it in blood. Kick man in the genitals. We're playing AI Dungeon 2. It is a adventure game written by robots. The man falls to the ground and you stomp on his face with your steel-toed boot. Kick him in the duck! It's good news indeed. Man falls to the ground. He stomps on his face. Yep. Casey is taken away to the hospital. You make a statement to the police and then go home. Search the contents of the backpack. Backpack is full of camping gear. You find a tent, a lantern, and a book of matches. There's also some dried meat, a water bottle, and a knife. At the bottom of the bag, you find a small map and a picture of a gun. Examine the map. The map shows the woods in which you found the body, with other paths of similar length connecting to other locations. It seems that whoever murdered the man had a camp there. I'm looking for somebody murdered? My sister was captured. There's a bullet hole in the bottom of the backpack. Been searched. The backpack was empty. Alright. Give the map to the police. Please thank you. Begin to use the map to find the killer. They know that the killer must have a camp somewhere in the woods. A killer has been caught, but the police are still looking for the camp. Find the camp. You see where the killer's making his camp from the information on the map. You begin to head towards the location. You begin to hear sounds that resemble of twigs breaking. Hide in a bush. Oh, hide behind a moose. We're in the woods. We're in Canada. You hear the sounds of twigs breaking and you draw your knife. You see a black shape slowly enter your peripheral vision. It's a moose! It's going great. The edge is doing pretty good on this one. It has a look of fear in its eyes and backs away slowly. You relax into your stab moose and hide behind its body. You plunge your knife into the moose and begin to drag it behind you. You notice a slight change in the sounds of the forest. You can hear screams coming from that direction. Taunt on the moose! The young girl is crying and screaming in a nearby tent. Take out your knife and start to carve off slices of the moose meat, which you put in a small backpack. Ooh! Enter tent. You enter the tent and see a figure emerge from the shadows. It's your killer! He yells, don't move. You remain completely still. Turn around slowly. Throw moose meat at killer. The killer blocks the meat with his gun and yells, what is this? You just take a step forward. Don't move, he yells as he points his gun at you. Initiate. Jump super high with your robot legs. You leap into the air and over the killer's head, landing behind him. You carve your knife into the back of his neck as he turns around in surprise. The killer falls to the ground. I knew those robot legs were gonna come in handy. The killer is dead. The killer has been killed. You realize you found the camp. There are 3 more murders to go. You leave the bodies of the killer and his victims where they lie. What? Am I now the murderer? The killer's been killed. You reach the final case of the game. You need to get home before sunrise. You can choose whether or not to tell the police what you know about the murderers. The police about the murders. There's a lot of stabbing in this story, dude. Dang! Tell the police what happens, and they take you to a psychiatrist to help you deal with your memories. You don't remember much, but in the end it doesn't matter. You've killed someone. I killed a murderer. The doctor who's treating you suggests you see a psychiatrist, but it doesn't matter because you've killed someone. The judge is confused, and he releases you into the custody of your parents. A killer has been killed. Tell your mom about the moose. It's going great. Pretty good. Explain to your mom that you need to find the camp. She understands, but she doesn't want you to go out in the woods by yourself. Ask mom if you can borrow the moose. You ask your mom if you can borrow the moose meat to cook with. She says she doesn't care where you get it, but you have to give it back. Cook the family. Wait, cook the moose meat for your mom. Automod stopped your sentence. This took a turn. Eat up all the leftovers so that you have enough to share with your mom. Cook the moose meat with potatoes and onions. It makes for a delicious meal. Ask mom if she can drive you to the forest. We now live with our mom. I'm in custody. They have to take care of me. If she can drive you to the forest, but she says you have to go to daycare and read to Nana. Ask mom who Nana is. What is happening? Nana's my granny, she says. She's the most important person in the world to me. Tell mom your Nana can wait. It's going to be fine. You know that your Nana's going to be fine, but you still need to go into the woods. She sighs, then says that you can go into the woods as long as you stay close to the main road. She drives you into the woods and leaves you at the edge. Search for the camp. Hold on. Roll in mud for camouflage. Whoa. How do you spell camouflage? Camouflage. You find a puddle and quickly get covered in mud. You walk up to the edge of the road and wait for the sunrise. A man comes out of the woods with a rifle. Hide. Using your camouflage. You hide using your camouflage, but the man is already looking right at you. You aren't sure if he's going to shoot. You decide to scream. Scream using a megaphone. Wait, no. Use a megaphone. Your robot vocal cords to scream really loud. I'm a man. Use your robot vocal cords to scream really loud. The man walks over, aims his gun right at you, and pulls the trigger. Dodge the bullet. You duck as the bullet whizzes overhead. You don't hear any more gunshots, so you get up and start walking into the woods. There's a large bear following behind you. It seems pretty determined. Toss the moose meat to the bear. Which seems to be a little confused. The bear gets closer and closer until it begins to sniff the meat. Then it charges. Jump. Use your robot legs to jump up a tree. Use your robot legs to jump up a tree, but the bear is too big and bulky to climb. It smashes its body into the tree and knocks it over. Stab bear in the head. Wait, no. In the groin. Stab bear in the groin. Robot legs MVP! The bear gets up and roars. Wait, no. You stab the bear in the groin, but it doesn't seem to faze it. The bear gets up and roars. You stab it again and again and again, but it doesn't stop. Cut off testicles of bear. You pull out your knife and cut off the bear's testicles. The bear yelps and slinks away. Now manageable. Get bear's testicles. Call mom and walk off into the woods. Call mom. Calling mom. You call your mom and tell her that everything's going to be okay. Your mom asks where you are, but you don't answer. Tell mom about the bear's testicles. You tell your mom about the bear's testicles. She says that the bear's testicles will keep your mom and dad alive a few more days, but she still needs to be found. Ask mom who needs to be found. What? It's fun. It doesn't matter. It hangs up. You look around and see a trail of blood leading off into the woods. Follow trail. Going into the woods. After following for an hour, you find what looks like a camp. A campfire's going, and there are 2 tents. Hide in the bushes and observe the camp. You hide in the bushes and observe the camp. See a large man chopping down a tree with an axe. A smaller, fatter man is pouring what looks like honey into a pot over the fire. So let's continue. Let's see what's going on. A woman with long blonde hair is stirring the pot. A little boy no older than 4 is sitting in a tent crying. You watch the large man feed the pot and watch it bubble. The man smiles and looks at the little boy. Crunt, he says. You should eat. The little boy looks at him with tears in his eyes. Oh, Crunt. He opens his mouth very wide and the man pours honey into it. The boy screams and spits it out. Grunt. The man slaps him in the face a few times and throws a large piece of meat into the pot. And louder than before. Bro. Wait. Ignite the bare testicles and throw it at the man. Let's see if it does this. Let's see. You ignite the bear's testicles and throw it at the man. The man screams as the bear's genitals hit him in the face. He falls to the ground and burns to death. Oh my god. Yeah! Yeah! You did it! I didn't even read throw bear testicles at man. What kind of detective are you? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, rescue child. Go into the tent with the crying boy. That's what his name is, but he's too afraid to tell you. Promise that nobody will hurt him, and you'll get him to a better place. Tell comfort. Grunt. Hold the crying boy and try to calm him down. It's going to be alright, you say. I don't want to die, he says. Nobody does, Grunt. Give Grunt a teddy bear. Thank you, he says. You're welcome. The boy nuzzles it into you, and you stand up tall. Return child safely to his mother. Take the boy back to his mother, who's overwhelmed with relief. She hugs and kisses you, telling you that you're a hero. You take your leave, returning to the woods. Find the... Wait, come on. Transform into a hunter. You look at the half-charred corpse of your father. They'll hunt you down, he says. My word will be enacted. They'll come for you. I've seen this movie. I clipped the bear testicles. Oh, yeah, hold on. Permit. Cheese Viking Games. You can do it now. Stand up, grip. Okay. I know they're coming for you now. You stand up tall, gripping your rifle tightly. They can't take me, you say. I'm a hunter. That's what they said before they took down Wolf. You'll be fine. You're a hunter. I'll hunt them. I'll fill this forest with their blood. Good luck, kid. I've been waiting for this day for years. I'm going to tell my brother what happened, and that you're on your way to Neuro. He can fill you in on the rest. Meet brother at Neuro. Travel the rest of the way to Neuro by yourself, tracking the beast's scent in the fading light. As you round a corner, you hear a loud, animalistic growl. Okay. Shoot the source of the sound. You raise your rifle, firing at the source of the growl. Hit your target as seen through the eyes of the beast, a werewolf, as it hits the ground with a thud. Inspect the corpse. We're hunting werewolves now. Body and pull back its shirt to reveal a thick, angry-looking gash along its chest. That's odd. The wound should have killed it, but it's still alive, lying on the ground. Suddenly the werewolf bursts up from the ground, flying at you with a roar. Become a werewolf. A spurt of fur erupts from your skin as you're now covered in a thick coat of fur. Your teeth and claws become sharp and long, and your eyes turn into gold. The beast charges, swinging its claws and smacking into you. You swing your claws in response, tearing through the air and finding its neck. You bite down, tearing through flesh and into bone. Yes, I worked and a werewolf. In the feed as the creature's blood spurts down your throat. Suddenly, you feel a pain in your stomach. Locate the killer's camp. As a werewolf, you sprint through the forest following the blood scent. You find the camp, a crude camp in the woods. You hear a scream and a later growl, along with the barking of several dogs. Hide and observe the camp. You hide behind a tree and watch as several werewolves burst out of the trees, attacking a man and woman. The woman screams, but the man stands no chance. Rescue woman from werewolves. You run over to the woman, but the werewolves are too fast. You leap on top of her as claws and teeth tear through her flesh. Devour werewolves. You feed. Oh no! Hold on. That's not. No, we're undoing that. We're not eating the woman. Murder werewolves. Claw and bite at the creatures, beating them off with your fur and wolf form. Heal woman. Oh, apply first aid. You take off your shirt, wrapping it around the wounds in her stomach. You press your body to hers as she sobs, and you try to calm her. You look up, seeing the man standing there. Tell man to call your mom. Call my mom, she screams. Okay, the man says before pulling out his phone and making a call. It's okay, he says into the phone. They're on their way. This remembers you're a werewolf. Thank you, she says before passing out. Transform back into a man. You finish transforming back, pulling up the shirt to apply pressure to the wound. There's someone coming, you say to the woman. Hurry and change me back, she says. Change her back. What do you mean? Stand up, pulling up your shirt to reveal you are, in fact, a man. The woman looks at you. A flash of recognition appears on her face. Thank you, she says. Ask her where she recognizes you. I think you're that guy from the internet, she says. Ask her what guy from the internet? What? You pull up your shirt to reveal the Reddit alien, the symbol for yes, I am a nerd. Oh, that guy, she says. What is happening? You saved me from those guys. You're the guy from the internet. Go over to the unconscious werewolf, tear your strip of your shirt to bind up the wound. I'll be fine, she says. You go save the world or something. Save the world using the internet. Okay, you reply. I'll be sure to save the world a lot. You jog through the woods, running through the woods as the sun rises. How did we get here? I don't even know. 911, what's your emergency? The operator on the other end inquires. We find a signal and dial 911. I was out for a run and I found a woman severely injured in some woods, you say. I think she's been turned into a werewolf. How did this happen? Who is this calling? It's David from school, you say, hesitation voice. David, are you sure you found a woman? Isn't this a man? Listen, you can put down the phone. I'm sending someone out to your location. No, you exclaim. It's a werewolf. The operator stays silent and you continue. I think it's a woman, you say. She's been turned into a werewolf. The operator stays silent and you continue. Listen, you have to send someone. David, you need to listen to the operator says. You need to put down the phone and wait for help. No, you exclaim. I need to save her. David, you need to listen to the operator says. You need to put the phone down and wait for help. I can't. She's been turned into a werewolf. Listen, you have to send someone. David, you need... Okay. Put down the phone and wait for help. You hang up the phone and wait patiently for help to arrive. You don't want to miss this werewolf. Suddenly, a large truck drives into the clearing. You realize that you recognize this truck. It's the local pizza place. The truck stops, and 4 large men wearing identical pizza-themed shirts get out. That boy found a girl. What is happening? The 4 large men rush into the woods, and you follow them closely. Oh, we need to help her, you say. After 10 minutes of running, you enter a clearing to find a girl. She's dressed in a nurse's outfit and holds a tray of food. Where's the girl? One of the men asks. She's over there, you say, pointing to the nurse. The men turn and carry the girl out of the clearing. What's her name? The men ask. Did I get her name? Hold on. Let's see. Nope, I don't know her name. Say that you don't know her name. It's so confused right now. She was naked, you say. I don't know her name. She was not naked. We need to help her, the man says. You nod and turn to leave. Suddenly, you're grabbed by the shoulder and spun around. What? The man says. Why? It is so... Oh, it doesn't know what to say. Okay. Defend yourself. It is so confused. You swing at the man, but he catches your fist. He throws you to the ground, and you quickly get back up. You feel a fist hit you in the stomach, knocking the wind out of you. Kick man with your robot legs. Pretty good. Catches your foot and shoves you to the ground. This makes up several plot threads. The detective story wants to go. It wants to go. I know it always tries to bring around the plot threads, and I definitely transforming into a hunter and werewolf definitely threw it for a loop. Okay. Transform. Okay, hold on. Kick man in the balls. It's really trying to figure this out. But he catches you and pulls you up. He knees you in the stomach and you feel like you're going to die. How would you like that? Tell the man that you are a masochist and you enjoyed it a lot. The man looks at you confused and then throws a punch. You attempt to block the punch with your left arm, but it still hurts your arm quite a bit. Are you alright? Perform a Kamehameha blast on the man. Perform a Kamehameha blast on the man. He falls to the ground, his chest burned. He begins screaming and attempts to pull his hair out. Alright, alright! Kamehameha blast. That's enough, we need to find this girl. Why? I've never heard of a masochist before, the man says as he pulls out clumps of his hair. Interrogate man to find girl. It's trying so hard. Let's try to get some information on this guy. You say, he may know where the girl is. The man nods and you begin to question him. Where are the girl's parents, you ask? The man looks at you confused. I don't think she has any. Look at her outfit. It's trying to get spicy. Look at the nurse. Ask why she's dressed like that. Who are you talking to? The guy Kamehameha? Oh, that. He says, she doesn't like dresses. She's been my nurse for years, and she's always dressed like that. This is very confused. Game, you're very confused. Where were you yesterday between the hours of noon and 1, you ask? The man thinks for a moment. I was at my house. He says, what time is it? 6 o'clock. He thinks for a moment. I was at my house, he says. What time is it? 6 o'clock. He thinks for a moment. Rescue girl. We're just gonna try to fast track this now. Ring the doorbell. After a moment, the door is opened. Hello, woman in her 50s says, standing here. Can I help you? Where have we gone? It has gone off the rails. I'm looking for your daughter. You say, my daughter? She asks confused. I'm her mother. I'm looking for your daughter. You say, I found her passed out next to a strange man in a forest. The woman gasps and covers her mouth. Oh my god, she says, what happened? It's a mystery, all right. I don't know, you say. I found her passed out next to a strange man in the forest. When was this? 6 o'clock. 2 days ago, you say. I was walking my dog and I passed out as well. What'd the doctor say? He said it's a common side effect. What? That's all I know. That's all you need to know, she says. We need to get her to a hospital. Why? It's not that serious. Tell her about the werewolves. She turned into a werewolf. A dog walking? They're werewolves, you say. They turn you into a werewolf if you're bitten. The woman gasps and grabs your arm. I need to get her to a hospital, she says. Get her to a hospital. I have no idea what happened right now. The woman begins to cry, and so do you. You walk the girl to the car and drive her to the hospital. You enter the emergency room and approach the receptionist. This woman's become a werewolf. My girlfriend's been bit, you say. She's been bitten by a werewolf. The receptionist, the man with spectacles, looks at the girl. We got her to the hospital. We got her to the hospital. We got her to the hospital. Let's see what happens. I'm trying to rewrite the course here. She needs to see a doctor. You say, now. I can't just take you in, he says. I need to check your story. She's been bitten. Tell the receptionist the story. The man nods and grabs the girl's hand, pulls her into an examination room, and you follow. The girl sits on a chair as the receptionist talks to you. What's your name? Tell a man your name. I don't remember what I had as my name. Jacob, you say. Jacob Cole. Where are you from? A small village. What's the name of your village? I don't know. Oh no. No, it's Bob. She's your girlfriend now. Well, I mean, how many people live there? I don't know. 20 maybe? This sums up my feelings right now. No way you could have survived there for this long without someone noticing. Maybe you were a loner? You consider lying, but decide not to. We've lied about everything else. I wasn't, you said. I had a best friend there. Man nods. What's his name? Samuel. What do you do for fun? Tell man that you like to howl at the moon for fun. Bob of the village of Chicago. I like to howl at the moon, you admit. Sometimes I howled for my mother. The man nods. Tell me about some of the werewolves you've killed. You think for a moment. There's the Alpha, you say, the second in command, as well as the best fighter. How did you kill him? The man asks. Bob of the village of Chicago, 20 people. Well, you tear his head off and leave the body alive to run about in pain. What about the third in command? I don't have an answer. The traditionalist. You wait for several hours until he's almost asleep. You pounce on him and you kill him in a single brutal blow. Any others? Oh, that's what you do. Sorry. I'm telling him how you kill the traditionalist. Any others? Girlfriends, boyfriends? No. The man nods. Give me your name and birth date. I'll have you cleared to go in half an hour. You hesitate. Can't I stay here? You ask. I wish I could, he says. Wait to be cleared. I have no idea where this is going. You wait in the waiting room, trying to think about what the man had said. After 2 hours, the man approaches you. You can go in, he says. Go in. You enter the room and find a girl with brown hair. There's a single scalpel with a long, blood-stained blade. I don't like where this is going. You're getting too anime on me. Large, thick leather chair sits on the other side of the table. You walk forward slightly. Slowly, the girl looks at you. Cold in her face, emotionless. You know she's conscious. Hello. You say, my name's Jacob. I know, the girl says. You're the one who helped the werewolves. Hurt my friends. Now you're going to help me get revenge. Revenge is sweet. Sweet like a human's throat between your fangs. Sweet like a lover's kiss. I want to help you, say. How do I do that? She's stunned because she's... Oh, I guess she's... Okay, there you go. She transformed into a werewolf. She's now not. So she's naked. I get it. Okay. By sitting in the chair, she says, have a seat. You walk over and sit in the large, heavy chair. Now we begin, she says. Begin what, you ask? What's this all about? The girl grins and licks her lips. We're going to find out how good your cooperation is, she says. Now I'm going to slice your throat. You're going to feel a lot of pain. If you're a good boy, you should still be able to survive. Be a good boy. Oh, ask if I can get... Ask if you can get a lollipop after this. Can I get a lollipop after this, you ask? The girl nods and smiles. Of course. I'll give you a few minutes. You take out your phone and text your father, the one who was burned. I'll be home in a few hours, you text. I'm just helping a friend. Hurry back, he replies. Love you. You put away your phone and wait for the girl to begin cutting. She smiles at you, gently rubbing your arm. We're just letting this happen. It's going to be alright, she says. You're going to be fine. The girl raises her knife and slashes your throat open. You scream as blood pours out and you collapse forward, unconscious. You waken an unknown time later, lying on the floor. The girl stands over you, holding your lollipop. Here, she says, I got you a present. You got the lollipop. We got the lollipop. We got the lollipop. We got the lollipop. Lollipop. Yeah! Thank her for the lollipop. Thank you, he says. You take the lollipop. The girl smiles at you and begins walking out of the room. I have to go now, she says. Good night. You You watch as the girl looks out of the room. You slowly stand and look around. You find yourself in a large underground room. Lick lollipop. This is why I love this game. Grab the lollipop and eagerly start licking it. The sweet flavor invigorates you, and your energy seems to return immediately. Find out what flavor the lollipop is. I need to know. It's important. This is important canon here. It's sweet and chewy and gross. It's candy, and it's delicious. You decide you like the taste. You look around the room. Okay, let's look around the room. You spot a small opening in the wall. You walk over to it and look outside. A large werewolf stands outside, growling and howling at you. You jump back in terror, grabbing your sword. Offer the lollipop to the werewolf. Hey, buddy. Sword? You hold the lollipop out to the werewolf. It stares at you with its one good eye and slowly walks over to you. It grabs you by the head and slams you against the wall. Chop off werewolf's testicles. Always the answer. You swing your sword, chopping off the werewolf's testicles. It howls in pain, and you pull yourself up. Jam testicles into werewolf's mouth. We're back to the dragon. Werewolf's crushed testicles in its mouth so it can't bite you. It howls and releases you. You pounce forward, stabbing it multiple times. We're back to the dragon. You stab the werewolf a few times before it collapses to the ground. You walk outside and look at the sun. It's setting, the day is dying, and the moon is slowly coming up. Soon the moon will be full, and the curse will be at its most powerful. You need to get home soon. The sun is down, and the curse is active until the sun comes up. Call Mom and ask her to pick you up. Yes! See? We're on the same thing. You walk into your home. It's dark, save for the moonlight shining through your windows. You hear the voice of your mother. Honey, you okay? I'm fine. Show Mom. Oh, tell Mom about the lollipop. I found this in my mouth, you say. Holding up the lollipop. It's a little disgusting, but I'm glad to have it. Of course you are, she says. I'll put some food in the refrigerator, and we can eat dinner soon. Ask Mom about... It's really going ham on the werewolf angle. Ask Mom if being a werewolf is like being in puberty. I've heard of werewolves before, you say. What is it exactly? I mean, is it anything like, I don't know, puberty? You've heard of werewolves before, have you, sweetie? Yeah, why so surprised I've heard of werewolves? I'm a hunter. I tend to hear things. I'm not sure. I suppose I just assumed that, you know, you didn't. Ask Mom if she thinks you are stupid. It's going to take an awkward turn. Well, of course not, she says. Why would you think that? I don't know, you say. I've heard all the hunters talking about you, and they say you think I'm stupid. Well, I guess they're just being mean, she says. I never actually said you were stupid. You wouldn't have to, you say, smiling. So, she says, looking away from you, how was school? Did you have fun? Tell Mom about the lady, about the girl. Oh, Mom. Tell your mom about the girl you saw. A girl, she says, as if the concept is unthinkable to her. Well, I suppose it's possible. I mean, we're the victim of a pretty... Whoa. Okay, we're gonna go back on that. That's not happening. We're not experiencing sexual assault in this. Tell Mom about... being a detective. to get back to being a detective. It's funny, say, I found a dead body. A dead body, she said, surprised. How did that happen? Okay. I did not mean that awkward. I was a detective, you say. I solved the case. You did, she said, smiling. That's wonderful. I'm sure you'll do great in high school. I think I already did, you say. Any new killings? No, but that hunter was seen in the area again. What? I wonder if he'll go back to that old cabin, you say. Honey, you can't think like that, your mother says. You solved the case, and that's what's important. I know, you say. It's just been a really eventful day. I'm sure it has. Man, that is the understatement of the decade. It has been so eventful. Scooby-Doo confirmed. Ask Mom if she can drive you to the cabin. Please say the end. Sorry, honey, your mother says, I can't. Mom, you say, I really think you should let me go. I'm sorry, sweetie, she says. Give Mom $100. Please, I just really want to go to that cabin. 100, she says? Why would you give me that much? Because I love you. Oh, she says, smiling, I love you too. Your mother takes the money from you and locks the door to the house. I'll be back soon. She says, lock the door when you get to the cabin. Okay, you say as she opens the front door. You walk down your porch steps and begin walking towards the dead end. Find the cabin. We're almost there. We're almost there. You walk to the end of the path and stop. There's the cabin, sitting there in the woods. It looks dark and foreboding. You're not sure you want to go inside. Check to see if someone is in the cabin. Cautiously approach the cabin. There's no one there. You open the creaky wooden door and step inside. The cabin is dusty and run door down. Lock the front door. I forgot what the main thread was. I was a detective. Are you a cyborg in middle school? Yes, I am. Thank you. Thank you very much. Cyborg middle school. You quickly went around to the front door and lock it. You look around the cabin, but it's completely empty. You go upstairs. There's a broken banister leaning against the wall. Pick up banister. Pick up the broken banister and swing it at the werewolves that appear in front of you. They're slashed open with a wooden sliver, and their faces reveal an inhuman hunger. Get revenge on all the werewolves. This is the best-selling novel waiting to happen. Turn to the nearest werewolf and smash it in the face of the banister. It crumbles onto the floor in a bloody heap. You swing the banister and cut open another werewolf's stomach. It lets out a roar of pain and you smash its head in with the banister. I think you can export. You lean back, catching your breath. You stare around you at the bodies of the dead werewolves. What a glorious slaughter, you say. You hear the front door open and freeze. The sacrifice is ready, a voice says. What? Come, boy, step up so I may choose you. You turn to the door and see a tall, gaunt man in a black robe. Say, what? What? The man asks. I don't understand. My name is Carter. What are you called? Sebastian, the man says. Pleasure, Sebastian. Smash Sebastian's head in with the banister. I'm not gonna be a sacrifice. You run to Sebastian and knock him unconscious with the banister. You drag him into the cabin and lock the door. You quickly check the house for any supplies. There's a few pieces of furniture and some other junk. You go into the kitchen, find a few cans of food. You open one of the cans and take a bite out of it. It tastes terrible, you say to yourself. You find a box of matches in a drawer. You check the house one more time, and then head back outside. Bob, David, Jacob, Carter. I'm glad you're keeping track of this, because I am so confused right now. Okay. Let's see what happens next. You find a box of matches in a drawer. You check the house one more time and head outside. You light a piece of wood on fire and hold it out in front of you. You notice the full moon overhead and how much light it's giving off. You look at the cabin and see a dark shadow standing there. Illuminate the shadow. You walk towards the shadow and throw the lit piece of wood onto the ground. The shadows move forward, and you catch a glimpse of pure black fur and fangs. Ignite the flamethrower. You ignite the flamethrower and hold it out in front of you. The werewolf charges towards you, but the flamethrower's flames burn straight through its body. Yes. 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 As you pump more flamethrower fuel into the weapon, ha! Killed it, you say. You go inside the cabin and lock the door. Find the alpha werewolf. You head upstairs and find the pack's alpha werewolf lying in ambush and sinks its fangs into your throat. Burn the alpha with the flamethrower. Always lock the door. Pull the flamethrower out and press the trigger. Fuel squirts out and sets the werewolf alight. Cook the werewolf to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. The music's really keeping up. Continue pumping fuel into the flamethrower and turn up the flame to maximum. The werewolf howls in pain as its body begins to burn. We're ending this curse tonight. Continue pumping as the creature howls and you turn up the flame. Kill the alpha werewolf. You keep pumping and the werewolf's body begins to melt. It runs around in pain, howling before collapsing onto the ground. End the curse of the werewolf. You aim the flamethrower at the creature's face and pump more fuel into it. It screams as you continue to pump. It's going great. For a few minutes, there's nothing left but a blackened skull with a few scraps of flesh hanging off it. You walk over to it and place your knife into its eye. I've ended the curse of the werewolf, you say. One of your best plans has failed. I've finished off the last of your enemies. You begin laughing. You laugh for several minutes before falling to the ground and vomiting. You sit on the ground and continue laughing until your stomach hurts. Eventually, the laughing subsides and you stand back up. You're dead. No more werewolf. I'll make a game of it, you say. I'll use your skin as my drum. You're dead. No more werewolves. You begin laughing once more before stopping to think. Reflect on all that has happened. Gotta time that up from earlier. You look at the moon and realize that you don't have any more fuel for the flamethrower. The werewolf has been killed, and you need to prepare for the night's activities. Retire from werewolf hunting. We need to retire. We gotta wrap it up. You head outside and search the bodies of the werewolves for fuel. You find a can of fuel in the pocket of one of the dead werewolves. I want to retire from werewolf hunting. Hold it in your hand, looking at it. It occurs to you that the werewolf venom is a powerful drug which has terrible effects on the human body. You don't want to get addicted after all. What? Go home. Go home and graduate high school. You throw the can of fuel into your back pocket and walk home from the woods. You walk into your house and Lucy hugs you. Mom, Dad, she says, you're alive. Of course we're alive, Lucy, you say. What do you think this is, a story? Walk over to your daughter and throw your arm around her shoulder. I'm so proud of you, you tell her. You did a great job taking care of the family. Yeah. Well, I'm still going to college, she says. This is far from a story. I want you to get a job, though. You can't survive on just my scholarship. Oh, this is me retiring from werewolf hunting. I'm sure we'll find something, you say. Walk into the kitchen, begin preparing dinner. I'm making lasagna, you tell your family. Want some? Become a banker and live a quiet life without. Yeah. You spend your days as a bank teller, and at night you go to college. Over the next few years, you manage to save money and build up a nice life for yourself. You don't become a professional banker like your dad, but you do manage to become a successful independent. Your parents are proud of you, and so are your friends and classmates. You're happy. Years pass and you get married to Lucy. She's a bright, attractive girl who's been accepted into an Ivy League university. Daughter! You manage to get a job for a small local bank, and you're fairly satisfied with your life. You have everything you want. It is a nice life. It's a nice, quiet existence that you live. You have a little more education than the average person, but your friends and family don't really have that much more. You don't have any great love of art or music or the theater. To you, the most important things are your family and friends, your home and Lucy. Your life is simple and easy. What more could you want? It's at that moment that someone walks into the bank. You don't know who he is. The end. Thank you for your interest in this story. Unfortunately, this is a what-if story, which means that the outcome was not specified. It is the end. We will find out about the mystery man another day. Is there a way to settings? Whoa. Whoa. We're using Griffin. The dragon is more powerful and is able to generate much more interesting and engaging stories. In a multiplayer game, if the host is running dragon, then everyone will be using dragon. Oh, dragon is the upgrade. You have to pay a monthly fee for dragon. Do say sorry. Show tips. Changes the randomness of the AI. How much text the AI will return? Okay. I haven't. Custom story is actually making a custom story. You actually are creating it and like adding content to it. Account. Huh. Hold on. What are these options? No. Pin? What should the AI remember? Whoa. This is interesting. Makes the story based off a paragraph prompt. Interesting. Let's hold on. I'm gonna take a quick water break. I'm gonna be right back, and we will do a multiplayer game. We'll try one, see how it goes, because I don't know how this works. So we'll find out. The AI should remember werewolves. There's quite a bit here. This is beefier than I was expecting, because I was very much expecting it to be just what we were experiencing, right? But then they're talking about the level of randomness the AI can have, as well as the Dragon AI, which is a more powerful tool. I'm curious to know what all that's about. Interesting. Because I'm not gonna lie, A-hole hamster, I can see this being a random, like a thing to pull up. You know, this feels substantial. Like, I feel like I could use this as a, you know, one-off on streams and stuff, because there seems to be a lot here, and I'm very curious to know, like, to play with this. And so you can make the AI remember very certain facets that you want it to help guide it better. This seems... You have to pull up and play for 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get some water, and we'll start a multiplayer game. Be right back. This is interesting. Interesting. Dum, bum, 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 bum. This is Golden Axe, I think. Music that's playing right now. Stream this, but so far it's first to do it. A-hole hamster, I cannot thank you enough, because this is a gift. This is a gift. Also, no, here's the thing, right? The game is, you get from it what you put into it, right? You get out what you put in. So for a lot of people, I would say for the vast majority of people, they're like, no, hard out. Never in a million years. And I had stumbled on this, I would say maybe like 6 months ago. No, it would have been Thanksgiving. So end of November. So yeah, wow. Like 10 months ago. And I stumbled upon it then, and it was a story about turkeys. It was crazy. And so I'm adding this to my regular repertoire. I think that if we have some time to waste, some time to spend, and also just kind of busting it out, because this is priceless gold. And I wonder if, I'm going to look into if there's a way to save your stories, and if it involves that dragon thing, and I may... Hold on, my stuff. Automatic saving and loading your adventures from every device. I will... Okay, so after this, I'm going to make a account. We'll absolutely do that off stream. To put a lot of thought into it. And it can get kind of spicy, which turns people off to it. Well, that's the thing, though. Like, you saw there are instances where they're like, it's going to get spicy. And I'm like, let's dial it back. Hold on, let's do a different train of thought. And you can ignore the spice to get it on track to your mindset. You know, like, it's like, oh, the lady's, you know, naked on the table. Like, I'm not going to address the naked on the table part of that. When it's like, oh, sexual assault, I'm like, no, we're dialing that back. We are not dealing with that. That is not okay. Like, that's an unacceptable topic. So let's yeah, you can guide it. Save my epic custom space story. Couldn't find a way to do it. So I think that if you do the there's a battle mode. What should our multiplayer game be? You want to do it the typical fantasy first? Let's start with fantasy, because it seems to be the easiest, right? My character's name is Bogus. We're just gonna start as Bogus. And so how do I get the info for this? Invite friends. Okay, so I'm throwing this link into the chat. Hold on. You're gonna see this wonderful world. You see my screen. Hooray! Boink. Based. There you go. Alright. You can join. There it is. Our story begins with a group of adventurers living in the medieval kingdom of Larian. The kingdom is filled with small villages and thatched cottages and has been relatively peaceful until now. The adventurers are on a quest to find the magical staff of Zalos. They walk through the forest and notice a band of mountain dwarves. The dwarves are friendly and offer them food and drink. Then one of the dwarves turns to them and says that a group of evil creatures attacked the dwarves. They manage to fight them off, but now they're being besieged in their underground home. So let's see. I'll wait for you guys and see what happens. I don't know if you guys pop up or... Let me know, Cheese Viking Games. Okay, you can. That's fine. Cheese Viking, you can join in. Cheese asks about creatures. Excuse me, sir, do you know what the creatures are? We believe they may be wyverns. Whoa. Ask about the location of the wyverns. Hey, do you know about where the wyverns are located? They're on the surface, but there's not much so we can do about them. They're on the surface. I'll let you ask Cheese. Let's see what Cheese has to say. Cheese drinks some, dwarven mead and prepare for battle. Well then, we have to get to the doors immediately. What is the best way to get out of here? The passageway over there should get you out. Follow the passageway. Thank you, thank you. Adventurers quickly run down the passageway and make it outside of the mountain. They're faced with an odd sight. We're gonna let that play out. Hey, wait! Turns around and starts to talk. Sorry about that, it seems that we've got a bit of a problem. It's okay, we can fight them. Wait, what are you doing? You're not thinking about going back in there, are you? Whoa. Say yes. Yes, I'm thinking about it. Well, you'd better not. What are you going to do then? Let that play. Got a good idea. I'm going to have to go back inside. Group size, and you follow, Bogus. This is weird. Yeah, like, I don't know how well this works. We're gonna see. Okay, let's listen to the plan. I pull out a large ring and hold it up. Now you'll have to wear this ring to walk around underground because the dwarves don't have magic to make these things appear on people. What? This way. Come across the fight. Yeah, these things are tough. Right. To the baths! I'll let you do something, Cheese. Let's see what's going on. It's weird. Yeah, so you gotta kind of get a sense of when the AI wants to continue something. It takes a minute to try to grasp it. Cheese takes a ring. I need a ring. It gives you a small copper ring. You put it in your finger and it fits perfectly. Thank you. Help. Dwarves. Multiplayer text adventure. Amazing. Well, I mean, A-Hole Hamster, you got the muds. Muds are big. Multi-user dungeons, text-based, MMOs. They're great. You run over to the battle scene and see one dwarf desperately trying to stab a wyvern while being attacked by another. Stab or rip off wyvern's wings. Run towards the wyvern and jump on its back, grabbing at one of its wings. You begin to tear at the tough skin until you rip off a piece of it. Cheese throws a piece of wing at the wyvern, hitting it in the eye. The creature rears up and begins to fall. You leap off the beast and slam it to the ground. See, that's okay. See, now, here's the thing, right? It's really just having a say in the story. That's not a second person. Can add to that to the kill list. Gives a thumbs up. I like it. Against the fall, you leap off the beast, it slams the ground, killing it instantly. It's ridiculous. But it's weird, so it's like it's not taking Cheese's position into consideration. It's just taking his input and continuing the story. Which is fine, but it's weird that, like, yeah. Huh. It's interesting. Heal dwarves. Dwarves begins to heal them. It seems I've used up all my magic. Let's just hope these rings last long enough. Ask dwarves what the rings do. I don't know what they do. Dwarves thank you profusely and begin to offer you gifts and riches. No, that's okay, really, it was nothing. One of the rings as a gift. Ask about rings. What do they do? These rings are magical and protect you from being poisoned or drunk by Wendigo. In fact, they'll make it so you feel nothing at all. Not a good thing if you're fighting them. No, I think what they meant there when he said, like, save the dwarves, that was part of the it's like saving the dwarves involves killing the wyvern. So we're going to kill the wyvern. Insist on hearing about the Wendigo. What now? One of the dwarves begins to speak. Listen to the dwarves. So the Wendigo are spirits that are cursed by the gods to roam the earth without form or feeling. They're mischievous creatures that love to play tricks on people. They have a habit of stealing joy, and anyone cursed by Wendigo can never feel joy again. How to defeat the Wendigo? We don't know. The Wendigo are powerful spirits. There's a legend that if you can carve the name of the being that cursed you, you can get freed of the curse. And also, you can always tell when you want it to continue is if they have the thing there, the quotation marks. She's going to want to carve them into your flesh, but you get the idea. What are the odds of finding this place? Slim, very slim. Guess where tell me where the place is. We don't know. It's supposed to be a secret from everyone, like the location of the legendary iron mines in the mist. So I just realized that the parser, you can actually change it to be like story, what happens next. Bogus does this thing, or Bogus says. That's interesting. So there's more to this. There's more to this. Cheese says, ask about the iron mines. The dwarves tell you that the iron mines are located in the Wendigo Hills, where even the grass is red and with blood. No one has ever reached the hills, let alone come back alive. Alright, go. Bogus goes. Whoa! Dude, the zero. Whoa. The Zeron Light. Oh, the Zeron Elite. The Zeron Elite. How's it going, man? Thank you for the follow. We're playing some crazy text adventure game right now. I'm doing a little bit of, how are you doing, by the way? Hope you're doing well. We're playing some AI Dungeon. Doing a little bit of a multiplayer to it, too. It's really interesting. Zeron Elite. Thank you. Alright. Alright, goes to the iron mines. Go to Wendigo Hills. If you stand outside the Poison Blade Inn, looking at the doors in frustration, the doors have fled into the hills. You're going to have to find another way in. Break down the door. You run towards the door and begin to bash it with your head. It doesn't give, so you pick up a rock and continue to smash the door with your head until it's broken off the hinges. Enter the inn. Oh, brandishes weapons! You pull out your sword and begin to swing at the nearest goblin. What? You cut your way through 3 goblins before you even notice. Then it's a battle. You pull out your sword and wave it around. You point it at the nearest monster. Kill monsters. Oh, nice! I have, technically, Cheese Vikings joining me with a multiplayer game. It's a little weird on multiplayer. You missed a grand old time. We were playing as a cyborg middle schooler detective werewolf. It was wild. Who retired to be a banker. So it was a good time. Okay. Let's see what happens next. Peel the chest and run it through. You fight a group of 3 goblins who surround you. You slash one in the throat, hacking up its head. You stab the second in the chest and third in the leg, breaking its leg and causing it to fall over. Yeah, I've technically played it like 10 months ago, one time, and it was brought up again by A-Hole Hamster, who recommended that I play it. And absolutely. I was like, I know this game! Yes! Let's do that! Let's see. Cheese collects the goblin skulls. You grab the skulls of your fallen goblins and stash them in your backpack in preparation for the next encounter you have with them. After a moment, you hear a shout. Follows the source of the shout. The music is doing a great job. I'm glad I picked this. You follow the voice and soon find the owner of the voice. A large, heavyset man stands there, a hammer in his hands. He's wearing a metal gauntlet on his right hand. Ask man if he is Thanos. I'm the Crimson Reaper, he says. You raise an eyebrow. Fool's gold, he says. I'm Captain Flevis, the man says, shaking your hand. Glad to make your acquaintance. I'm looking for a dwarf. Should have a deep voice. Scottish one. Tell... He's the Crimson Reaper. Don't ask why. He tracks down folks to kill them. Oh, man. I'm so confused. Let's see. Tell man the location of the dwarf. Captain nods. I'll be sure to ask him about that, the captain says. Oh no, we're getting things all mixed up. Well then, I guess I'll be off, he says. The captain nods. Well then, I guess I'll be off, he says. Okay. Find the scepter. Good luck, boy, says. You look around before seeing a chest to the side. You open it and find a scepter inside. Grab the scepter and put it in the backpack. Return scepter to the king. We were on a hunt for a scepter. And the scepter to the king. Thank you, the king says. Now I can pass my laws. You nod. Eventually find one that has a key inside. And exit the palace. Await the new laws. You walk down the steps of the palace and begin to count them as they appear. To reach 108 steps, the man on the throne calls out to you. Hello, he says. Please stop stepping. Comply and look at the man. He's a large man wearing a heavy purple robe. Huh. On his head is a heavy golden crown. Thank you, the king says. By stepping, you saved me from having to descend the stairs. Ask for a reward. Exchange for your step. May I offer you a reward, the king asks? Yes, reply. Good. I'm offering you my daughter's hand in marriage. Sorry, you say. Marry the king's daughter. Congratulations, he says. Live a life, happy life as a prince. Huh? The wedding. Cheese attends the wedding. Bows before the princess. She curtsies and returns and looks at you expectantly. Will you escort me to my seat? She asks. Of course. I've brought you your marriage proposal. Shall we discuss terms? The king asks. You hold up the backpack, empty out the skulls. Remove the skulls from the pack and hold them on the ground. That's a nice backpack, the king says. Wherever did you get it? Hold on, we're gonna say, I got it in Vietnam. Oh dear me. We'll need to have security on this wedding extra tight. Vietnam is a dangerous place. It is not dangerous. That's racist. The king extends his hands, which you grip and shake extensively. The princess curtsies and you return her bow. The king laughs. Dude! Okay. Get married. The wedding is a huge success and everyone dances the night away. King hugs you tightly, but you return. I'm sorry about my wife, he says. The key dangles from the keychain, swinging back and forth. Hey, you say. King looks up. I have a request, the king says. Tell the king that you are done being a hero. I'm taking your wife, you say. What? You look at the king and frown. No, that's not what I mean, you say. King raises an eyebrow. You're bogus, he asks? Yes, you reply. Retire. I'm done. I'm done. This is getting too wild. It's weird with two people. No offense, Cheese. I love you. It is getting weird, and we need to try some solo stuff. Have a family and things like that. That's commendable, the king says. Really, you ask? Because it seems like a backwards reason for congratulations. The king sighs. I'm sorry, he says. For what? We're not taking your warnings about the Joachmites. Seriously, I wish I had. You sigh and nod. What? It's fine, you say. Now you'll have to excuse me. I have an important meeting in the morning. Of course, the king replies. You leave the wedding and head back to your apartment. Next morning, you get up to make your way to the inn you're staying. Sit at the table and groan. Not steal the queen, exactly. And groan. Become a drunk. God, I need another drink, you say. No sooner are the words left your mouth than a man wearing a long brown coat walks into the bar. Barkeep, he calls out. We're done. We're gonna do a new game. Single player. Sorry, Cheese. I love you. I love you, Cheese. It wasn't working. You're stealing the king's wife. Let's do a cyberpunk. Let's go cyberpunk. I would like to be a punk in cyberpunk. My name is Cybo. Cybo the punk. You're Cybo, a punk living in the futuristic city of Zale. You have a bag of drugs and a hollow band. You wake up in a dark alley with bruises all over your body. You have no idea what happened. You stand up and see a figure near you. Examine the figure. It's a tall, dark, bald man wearing a dark jumpsuit. He walks towards you and you notice he has several tubes coming out of his arms and legs. Say, what do you want? Do drugs! I am the Whole Guard mob, he replies. They sent me to extract information from you. What? You crazy or something? I don't talk to criminals. My dad's a cop. going great so far. Well, Cop Daddy, what do you think this is? Holgard's not a safe place. That's why they pay me to take risks like this. You pause. Say... Oh. What we're gonna do? Give information. We're gonna give him Cop Daddy. Well, Cop Daddy, what do you think this is? I don't know anything about the Kishak Syndicate, you say. Except that they have a mansion in Holgard. I've only heard rumors about them, though. The man nods. Ask man what he is going to do. What are you going to do? Nothing, he says. I'm supposed to just watch you, but I have my own instructions. However, if you continue to misbehave, then I am under no obligation to stop anyone from I am under no obligation to stop anyone from killing you. Ask what his instructions are. Doesn't know what to say. Where do we go from this? Oh, give man. Oh, wait. Look at Holoband. Let's look at the Holoband. What does this thing do? Tell me it smells nice. Yes. Yes, this is a new type of Holgard security system, the man says. City has banned the use of most firearms, however, due to the Holgard's watch. Holgard watches. Shortcomings, many criminals have access to firearms. This leads to a lot of unsolved violent crimes, and the Syndicate is apparently concerned about their public image. Hence this system. It enforces a ban on the use of firearms. I'm sure you've noticed that most criminals don't use firearms. Well, yeah, but it's still illegal to have them, you say. You're aware of that? And does it really matter if some small-time crook gets a few possession charges? If you're familiar with Syndicate policy, you know that petty crime is encouraged to fund the more serious stuff. The Syndicate is just concerned with their public image. They really don't want a bunch of loudmouths running around telling everyone how easy it is. What? Cheese Viking Game subscribing with a whoa! Tier 1, thank you, sir. Thank you! You get access to a bunch of meat sticks. Meat sticks! Meat sticks! Thank you, dude. I appreciate that immensely. So let's see. Run around telling everyone how easy it is to become a professional criminal. Now, the Syndicate has a large influence in the city. They make the laws. They have a large number of police and military officers on the take, and so on. Okay, where are we getting at here? Worth it for the werewolf story. That is the truth. However, they still don't want to interfere with the day-to-day operations of the city. We've seen a decline in violent crime. There's a wave of executions coming soon. Ask if Rebecca is being executed. I don't have any information on that, but you don't need to worry about it. Your criminal record's clear. You aren't on anyone's list of untouchables. Show man the drugs. Now see here, the man says, I don't give information for drugs. Give man money. Take the drugs and get out of here, he says, but I will not give you money. You hold out the bag of white powder. The man pauses. Fine, he says. Take the drugs. That's all I'll tell you. Now get out of here. You've been a bad influence on the kid. Head back home. Okay, so we're going to say, Mom, are you home? Mom's always there. Mom comes down from upstairs. Oh, you're back, she says. Thought I'd be gone until dinner time. I put your money away. So did you do okay today? Tell Mom about the drug deal gone wrong. Oh my gosh, Mom says, that's terrible. What happened exactly? Were the kids mean? Were they dangerous? Why were you on the street so late? Tell Mom it's okay. I said it's okay, Mom, you say. No, no, it's not. Your mom says something like this is really not okay. She pauses. Show Mom the drugs. Is this what I think it is? Your mom asks. Kishak was one of the companies that made the drug. How long have you had this stuff in your possession? Just today. It was a really big deal. They were going to execute the supplier. I had to take it from them. Son, she says, you're gonna have to come with me. We need to turn this stuff in and then go to the police. No! You've never dealt drugs before. I didn't grow up in a good neighborhood. I mean, the people would kill us if they found out we were involved with this. They'd send the syndicate after us. We're not dealing drugs, your mom says. We have a lot of money, and we're selling the drugs we have to make some extra money. This isn't as bad as it might sound. Trust me, I'll keep your secret, but we need to turn this stuff in before anyone finds out. Snort drugs in defiance. Fine, you say, but don't blame me if it gets out of hand. You pull the bag out of your bag and toss it at your mom. Oh no. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Call cops on your mom for drug possession. Call the cops and say that your mom is dealing drugs from the house. They come over and do a search. They find nothing. Sorry, kid, one of them says, but you're too young to have a record for this stuff. Maybe in a few years. They leave. Don't worry. Your mom says, you're not in trouble. You're not going to get in trouble. Go upstairs and get your stuff. We're leaving. Look in bag. Turns out your mom has been dealing drugs the whole time. We're not dealing drugs. We just use our money to buy more drugs to deal. Look inside your bag and see a lot of cash. You've never seen this much money at once. What's wrong, your mom asks. Say, where did this money come from? I don't know, your mom says. You'll have to ask your dad about that. I'm getting you a new backpack and some sneakers. We can't be selling clothes that are too small. I'll also have to replace this TV since the screen is cracked, and you'll have to get a cell phone. You can't have any friends over here anymore. Mom! And I think that's it. Are you hungry? Yeah. Alright, getting you a turkey sandwich and some chips. I think we could swing that. With gravy? That'll be great. She gives you a look. With ketchup, you add. A ketchup and gravy turkey sandwich. Eat the turkey sandwich. Eat the sandwich, it's delicious. Are you sure we can't swing a Coke, you ask? I'm sure, your mom says. You go to bed. Dream. Enter the dreamscape. See if something happens. You enter the dreamscape. A few people are here, but it's pretty empty. Hey, one of the people says, did you see that guy get his head blown off? Yeah. Another person says, the end of the world is coming. When, you ask? I don't know, he says. In like a decade. You walk forward. Hey, a third person says, did you see a guy who got his head blown off? Yes. You say, yeah. The third person says, and I'm glad he did. What, you ask? Third person turns and walks away. You walk forward. Hey! A fourth person says, did you see the guy who got his head blown off? No, you say, but I saw the guy who did it. What did you do to prevent it? Hey. I sold him some drugs. What did you give him? First person asks. Say, I gave him cyber weed. I gave him cyber weed, you say. What's that? The first one asks. It's a type of drug, you say. How do you take it? Say. You put it your butt. Put it up your butt, you say. Why would you want to do that? The first person asks. You continue walking. Uh-oh, Ale Hamster's very, very... What did you do to... Oh. Hey, the fifth person says, did you see the guy... What did you do to prevent it? Say. Stop asking me questions. Fifth person turns and walks away. You continue walking. Hey, a sixth person says, did you see the guy who got his head blown off? Okay. Punch the sixth person. Wait, no. Tell the sixth person if he asks again that he will be punched. A 15 person asks. Gets it. Yeah. Ask me that again. Sixth person says, I will punch you in the throat. Good, you say. First sixth person walks away. Hey. Stab the seventh person in the throat. We're not doing that. Falls to the ground, choking on his blood. Walk to the police station. What's your name? A cop asks. I'm not telling you anything, say. Not a word. Who are you? The cop asks. Tell cop that you are a punk. I am. I'm a punk, you say. Cop grabs you. What's your name? The cop asks. Say it, the cop. Say it? The cop asks. Say it so I can write it down. Cop Daddy. My name is Cop Daddy. I'm in the dream world. Oh yeah. The cop punches you in the face and throws you to the ground. What's your name? The cop asks. Say it. My name is Cop Daddy. Okay, wake up. Wait, I didn't say it. Still in the basement. Policeman and his sidekick are standing above you. What happened, you ask? I'm not saying a word. The cop. This is going bad. We're gonna reset this. We're resetting. Let's do one more fantasy game. We'll do one more fantasy game, and I think I'm gonna have to call it a night. Let's see what happens. We're gonna do fantasy. Fantasy seems to be the most stable. I'm going to be a rogue. Because it's not going anywhere. It got stuck. Hoborg is my thief name. It progresses well. You are Hoborg, a rogue living in the kingdom of Larian. You have a long steel dagger and a length of rope. You walk down the city street looking for somewhere to steal from. You look around and see an old man sneaking out of a shop. You to steal from him instead. You walk up to the man. He looks terrified. You smile and announce that you are going to kill him. Steal from the man. We're not going to kill him. Detective's funny because it really tries to work back around to the narrative. You grab the old man and hold a dagger to his throat. You pull him into the alley and tell him to empty the contents of his pockets. The old man is empty-handed. Who are you? He asks. Why did you rob me? Tell the man that it is none of his business. No. Ask the man why he was sneaking. Your GP or your HP? I was sneaking so I could get enough coin to get a late dinner, the old man says. I have no need to steal. him what he was going to eat for dinner. I was going to have some noodles and a light meat pie, the old man says. You sigh, and the old man threw with your dagger. Oh no! He gurgles as his life force drains away. Wow. Hide the body. Bring man back to life. In the dark, and cover it with trash. You walk on, not really paying attention where you're going. Suddenly you hear a voice behind you. Face the voice. Man dressed in brown leather armor and a conical hat holds a curved sword in his hands. Hail, friend, the man says. Ask man what he wants. Oh. Will you be my friend? The man grins and nods. You nod back, and the two of you walk into town. Ask man what he is doing. I'm an intergalactic policeman. I was sent here to maintain order. What are you doing here? You tell the man about your situation with the dwarven assassins. He seems amused. Dwarves, huh? Well, it sounded like you had quite the adventure. You're an interesting fellow. I'd love to chat with you further, but I'm afraid I have to patrol. Oops. I'd love to chat with you further. I'm afraid I have to patrol. See you around, mate. Find a store to rob. No, we're not chatting about werewolves. And approach the owner, a plump woman with a frown. No! Ask politely for her money. Why am I so mean? Please give me your money. I don't want to have to hurt you. Woman's frown deepens, and she sets a pile of coins on the counter. You scoop them up and leave the store. Let's see. Hide in the shadows. We're a thief. And count the coins. You have over 100 gold coins. That should last you a while. Suddenly the door opens. It's the owner of the store. Hide from the owner. You hide behind the counter and wait. The counter! The woman approaches the counter and begins looking through the store. Suddenly she screams. You grab the coins and run out of the store. Climb or look for an escape route. We gotta run. You run out of the store and see a side door to the city. You run through the streets. You find it heavily guarded. You find an alley and duck into it. Climb to the rooftop. Sorry, I thought my guy had already run out. You run up the fire escape and climb to the rooftop. You drop to the ground and sneak through an opening in the wall. You find yourself on the edge of the forest. Locate the Thieves Guild. You pull out your dagger and sneak through the moonlit night. Suddenly you hear giggling. Oh, isn't this funny? A woman's voice says. Turn and see a woman sitting on a wooden porch. She has long red hair and is clad in a one-piece outfit that displays her legs. She holds a glass of wine in her hands. Ask her what is funny. Sneaking through the night like some common thief. We should have more men in the guild, but then we'd lose our hooligan image. Too bad some of us think the city should start reestablishing the death penalty. I'd support that. She laughs and sips her wine. You stand in the shadows. Ask the woman about the Thieves Guild. The woman looks at you and laughs. What can I do for you, huh? She pauses. What's your name? My name is Irrelevant, a voice says from behind you. You turn and see a man with long black hair, clad in a black leather duster. The name's Van, he says, extending his hand. The hag over there is Hayes. You pause, trying to sort of trust them. You look at the man and the woman, and finally at the man again. He smiles. Trust me, I'd never lie to a fellow orphan, he says, smiling. Ask Hayes. Oh no. Ask Van what he wants. Shining Force, I know. Hayes and I are recruiting, he says. We're going to the Thieves Guild, and I'm sure you'd like a place to belong. What's your preference? I don't have one. I want to join the Thieves Guild. You don't have a preference? Hayes asks. Nope. I think I'll fit in with the rest of the guild. I doubt it, you say. Oh, you'll fit in just fine. You've got quite a few skills. You could be an asset to the guild. Join guild. You join the Thieves Guild and get a secret handshake. Van tells you that you should go to the Blackheart Inn on 15 and ask for Red George. Go to the Blackheart Inn. You walk down the street, then enter the Blackheart Inn. Inside, you find a large room with many people in it. Ask for Red George. You walk up to a man with a red sash around his waist. I'm looking for Red George, you say. I'm Red George, the man says, grabbing your hand and shaking it. Tell George that Van sent me. All right. Looking for an opening into the Yagites' hideout, you say. You know any secret tunnels? I do, George says, looking around. Well, where? Who are the Yagites? It's a bit of a walk. We have to go through a sewer. Is it secret? Yes. How do we get in? A tunnel or something. There's a hatch on the side of the sewer. It's supposed to be sealed, but I've got the keys to it. How do you know all this? I'm part of the cell that monitors the sewer. If the Yagites tried to do anything in the city, we'd be tipped off, so it's essential that the sewer be kept clean. How many of you are there? I don't know. I suspect there are 12 of us, but I could be off by a couple. Why does the cell only know 9? The final member's name is Frank. Ask about the Yagites. Clean sewer. Red George is a good name. Oh. Ask. Hold on. Who are the Yagites? I can't tell you too much, Red George says. They're a cult that worships Yag, the god of shadows. Show George your totem to Yag. It's going pretty good. Do you know anything about this god, you say, holding up your totem? Yes, Red George says. We have some misconceptions about Yag. He's not quite as mindless as we're usually told. Oh? What do you know about him? Tell me everything. As I said, he's not quite as mindless as you think. Most of the time he prefers to stay in the mind of his followers. He doesn't like being worshipped in a traditional way, though. I don't think he'd care for the Yagites' ritual of feeding on the life essences of others. stab George and say, Yag sends his regards. You can't be serious, Red George says. We can't have you joining the Thieves Guild if you're going to kill our members. Apologize to George. Yeah, I'm sorry, I say. Can you please just get the information to me? Fine. What do you want to know? Show me the sewer entrance. Yes! Alright, George says, it's around the back past this pub. Know where it is. I just want to see the entrance. Sure, come this way, please. You follow Red George through the sewers, which are full of excrement. Eventually, you reach the Yagite sewer entrance. It's a large metal door with a shackle on it. Open. Enter. Through the metal door. You enter the sewer, heading through it until you find the metal door. It's fairly simple to pick, and soon you find yourself in a tunnel that goes under the city. Search for the Yagites. You walk through the tunnel, finding yourself in a huge cavern. There are at least 100 goblins in the cavern, sitting around the campfire. Hide and watch. The goblins notice you as they notice you. Some go for weapons, others just yell. What in the name of Yag's fiery manhood is that? Preach the gospel of Yag. Walk up to a goblin and begin to preach. Yag, you shout. Yes, praise Yag. Who are you? The goblin asks. Tell goblin that you are a priest of Yag. I'm a priest of Yag. You need my help? We could use a priest of Yag, the goblin says. Unfortunately, I don't think you're what we're looking for. Convince the goblins that you are what they are looking for. No, I think I'm what you're looking for, you say. I'm a priest of Yag. I can explain more inside. Alright, the goblin says. Lead on. You walk into the cavern where the goblin's fire lights your face. You begin to speak. As I said, my name is Randy. I'm a priest of Yag. You've heard of Yag? Ah, sure have, the goblin says. Most sensible goblin has. Why do you need a priest of Yag, you ask? Well, to be honest, we're having some issues with Neroth cultists in the area. We're also having some problems with a necromancer. Ask about the Neroth cultists. Yes, Randy! Who are they, you ask? Oh, the Neroth cultists. They're a group of Neroth cultists who recently moved into the area. They're led by a man named Ganon. Ask who Neroth is. Ask who Neroth... Okay. Ask about Ganon. This cult's all the way down. He's a dark god. I doubt you've heard of him. Ask about Necromancer. Man who studies dead magic. We're having trouble with one who raises the dead. He's attacked our entire village. Agree to help the goblins. I can explain more inside. Goblin nods and you walk into the tunnel. They look hungry and one grins at you. Hail, Neroth's priest, he says. I thought we were Yagites. Might I get some food, Father? You nod, and the goblin eagerly walks forward. Randy, what's going on? Why are there so many goblins in the tunnel? Another asks. The goblins are under my protection. I am their god. The goblins are enthralled by your words. They take a knee, and the one who approached you earlier raises his hands up. I will be a father to them. Father, bless us. Bless the goblins. You begin to pray to Yag, and as you do so, your words of faith strike the minds of the goblins. Yes, yes, Neroth, kill, 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 death, death, death. Nerith and Yag together? What is this? Send the goblins out to raise the city. You send the goblins out to raise the city of Holgard, and they eagerly go. I will lead you to Nerith's light, you say. You look to the leader, who eagerly nods. Yes, yes, I will follow you to the ends of the world, Father. You walk through the tunnel as the goblins happily follow. This wasn't supposed to happen. The end. This wasn't supposed to end this way. They love Holgard as a name. Holgard. I'm sorry. That is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Cliffhanger for book 2. Wow. What happens next? The goblins raise the city, and you build a temple from the ashes in your honor. The end. There we go. Wow. Cliffhanger to book 2. That was amazing. Oh my gosh. I'm curious to know, like, I've got to make an account. What is the premium offer? Check out the dragon model, another awesome premium perks before you go. Naval games are alive and dynamic. Okay. One of the first visionaries helping us blaze the trail into the future of AI-powered games. Rolling my eyes. So the dragon model's a better one. New developments to come. Audio narration of your adventure. Change advanced settings like randomness and length. Up to advanced AI-powered games. Cancel anytime. Okay, so you just have access to the dragon thing. Interesting. Contribute. Okay, so you log in to contribute. Interesting. It can learn without human intervention, but sometimes it's important to teach the AI what we want. Supervised learning. Be able to supervise the AI so it can learn something new. I prefer bogus narration. Thank you. This process is really important for training our AI. If you add spammy or garbagey labels, you'll be banned from contributing, and all of your contributor points will be removed. Interesting. I gotta make an account. I gotta contribute. I have to contribute and teach this AI how to love. I'm curious. I am fascinated. I am fascinated. I really took this simple idea of this AI text adventure game generator. Love text adventure games, I might add. A huge fan. Like Mind Forever Voyaging, grade A. And I eat text adventure games up ravenously. Huge fan of like the work of Steve Moretsky, and it's just such an awesome experience. And this is enthralling. This is fascinating. I cannot pick up Ye Flask. Oh, I'm going to teach it to pick up Ye Flask. I'm going to teach it to pick up Ye Flask. This is transcendent. I am. Well, that's the thing. Well, they say that if they do, they get banned. If you're posting non-structured garbage, it bans you from contributing, and all of your contributor points will be removed. I'm curious what the contributor points are. What is all of this? I'd be a good trainer. Yes! I will. Oh, absolutely. A-hole hamster. Yes, please. Thing that happened to Microsoft Twitter AI. I'm curious because it did. The mystery did a good job of keeping things kind of, for the most part, controlled, right? Or at least going with the story in some direction. And I definitely took it in a weird way, but it went flawlessly. I say that lightly. And it was so weird and interesting how it worked with what you had and how it ties things together. And it makes those connections, right? I'm curious to experiment with how you can tell it to remember an event and you can find a way to bring that back. Because, like, for instance, the guy that I accidentally killed, I should have told the AI to remember that. Then talk about going to the necromancer and then, like, paying him money to resurrect the dude that I killed. Like, that would be interesting. Mine had an ending. I wasn't expecting it. I was hoping to go on. And so I'm really curious to know, like, where this will go, how this will work. I want to help this thing. It's been around for a while now, but I'm on a quest. The rabbit hole has deepened astronomically. And what's beautiful about this is I can do this on my phone too. It's on your phone. Whoa. Hold on. Fairies. Where's my fairy book? There it is. We have a fairy story redemption. The thing is bonkers. So let's see. We left off with Changeling. Cheese Viking, you've got the Chin Chin Kobakama. This tiny fairy is said to be in charge of the beautiful thick mats which cover the floors in a Japanese house. The Japanese ladies are most particular about keeping the mats clean, but if one of them, or more likely, some of her children, should be careless, the fairies will tease them until they mend their ways. The translation of the name, as nearly as possible, is lovely little spirit wearing a skirt. The Kobakama. The Chin Chin Kobakama. I hope you can see that guy. There you are. It's beautiful. So tomorrow night I'm gonna be at it again, probably around 9 p.m. but I'm shooting for 10 p.m. in case, sleep issues with my kids. We're gonna be starting up a new game. I'm gonna be probably playing PS2, the next Brave Fencer Musashi game. It just gets upset if you ruin the rug. Yep. If you get it dirty. And it teases you until you clean it. Or mend it if you broke it. So I'm going to play Brave Fencer Musashi on the PS2. Hopefully, if there's some weird technical issues or things get all messed up, or for whatever reason my computer just chugs and can't handle it, it should be fine. We'll play Mega Man Legends 2 in the virtual bedroom, which I'm also excited for. I'm excited. We can't wait. So, dude, thank you guys for coming in and hanging out on this journey. A-hole hamster, you're going to see this more. I'm going to throw this thing out from time to time and maybe even have like a contribution stream where we just talk about, or we just build this thing. So you're going to see this thing come out again. It has left an indelible mark on my being because, one, I love text adventures. Two, I love playing with AI. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I'm going to go on a tangent here for a second. We're going to quick tangent. When I was a kid in the early days of the internet, I cannot tell you how much I spent talking to like chatbots, right? The ones where you have conversations with, and they would give you responses similar to this, but they would all be pre-written. And even before that, before the internet and chatbots, there was something on the Apple II that I had as a young kid, that was a virtual Freud. It's a virtual therapist. It was supposed to be Sigmund Freud. Nice. Send me a message if AI Dungeon comes. I will for sure. I will for sure. And it was a thing. Freud. It was a therapist, and I would talk to it, and it would always just kind of spout out like, how does that make you feel, and what do you think that means, and stuff like that. And as a kid, I would spend hours just talking to this thing. I find this, how we interact with software. Again, when I've always preached this to everybody. All the streams are great. Just take it. Thank you, Cheese. Thank you, Cheese. I always talk about how we interact with software and how we interact with other people and how we can create those connections, right? How do we connect with software? And AI is really interesting because you're always curious about what kind of response you're going to get. And you get frustrated when the response isn't what you want, or if it doesn't ring true to what you were intending. And I think that this sort of stuff is just such a rabbit hole, and it is absolutely a delight. I'm so excited. Thank you, A-Hole Hamster, for this revelation. This is so cool. I'm so excited. I'm making an account. Like, as soon as I turn the stream off, I'm making an account. I'm going to fiddle, and we're gonna go raid somebody though. A lot of streamers in a short time, and sometimes I want to do other stuff, but I'll make this a priority. Dude, A-Hole Hamster, whenever you want to come in, it's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure. I thoroughly enjoy your presence. We seem to be meshing well in terms of like our ideas. You recommended to me something. This year has been a crazy year for games for me, because the games that people have recommended to me have been huge. The Renaissance, if you've ever met him, he recommended to me Solstice and Snake Rattle and Roll, and those were huge accomplishments for me to complete, but also huge experiences that I loved and made a big mark on me. Brave Fencer Musashi, recommended by Lepilikos, huge for me because it was such a great gem on the PlayStation, huge attention to detail, the little things that I love. A-Hole Hamster, you are in that pantheon. You recommended a game to me that I'm going to spend time with for a very long time. I'm going to dig into this rabbit hole to teach it stories, to teach it interactions, to teach it a lot of things, because I also write. You guys don't know this or not, I made an RPG system, and I write a lot. So like for me, this is also something that's very exciting to see. We'll find out how it goes. I will spread the word of AI Dungeon. This is, so like, I don't know if you ever met Redox PDX, great streamer, amazing lady, love her to death. She does like, randomly throws out like Oregon Trail, and it's a Oregon Trail 2, and it is an absolute blast. This is my Oregon Trail 2, and I'm so excited. So excited. Anyways, we're gonna go raid somebody. Let's go find who we're gonna raid. Boink. We're gonna turn this off. AI Dungeon, turn off. Boink. Yay. J-Rod. Oh no, J-Rod. We were done, my friends. It's amazing, J-Rod. I will talk to you about this. Lip is raiding. Well, hold on. We can wait a second. We don't have to be done now. Hold on, we're gonna turn it back on. We will do one more as a crunch for them. They're coming. Raid train. Is Lip raiding me? Hold on. Oh! Okay, we will go raid Lip. Yes, that is what we'll do. We will go raid Lip. Sorry. I thought you were like, Lip is raiding you. Like, nope. I will go raid Lip. Of course I will go raid Lip. Let's go raid Lapilagos, my dear, dear friend. Oh, they're raiding Redox. Okay, well then we're gonna go raid Redox. Bam! Easy. I'm gonna wave goodbye. Thank you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're gonna go say hi to Redox. And I will see you guys again tomorrow night. We're gonna try Brave Fencer Versace 2 on the PS2.